going to compare your spine to my bike. So this is my lovely new Canyon bike. It's my pride and joy, so it comes into clinic and it sits in here where I can watch it. First of all, so no one else thinks they deserve it more than I do. But second of all, because it's better for its health. Now, whether you're a bike, a machine, or a spine, you need to be looked after to function at your best. So let's have a quick think about a bike. What am I going to do to take care of my bike? I'm going to bring it in here. I'm going to listen to it if it gets any squeaks or groans, and I'm going to attend to those and get it fixed as quickly as possible. I'm going to clean it regularly. I don't want a build-up of grease and dirt on the chain and on the components because it's going to increase the wear and tear. And also, once I've cleaned it, I'm going to oil it so it doesn't dry out and rust prematurely. So how does that compare to this spine? So for those of you who don't know, this is a model replica of the spine. This is the back, the pokey things down the back, centre of your back. These are the spinous processes, the back of the vertebrae, which houses the spinal cord, which sends the signal from the brain down the cord and out to corresponding areas of the body, whether that's the muscles, the neck ones up here, they're going to tell my arm what to do. They're going to send feedback to and from the brain from my hands. It's going to tell me that I'm picking this up, give me an idea of how heavy it is. And also the texture, the smoothness. It's also going to tell me if I feel pain, if something's hot, or if it's cold. So it's so important that we maintain really good spinal health. And the big benefit to a bike over a spine is I can replace this, even though I don't want to. But she is replaceable. This spine is not replaceable. When we've caused damage, we will remain with a little bit of wear and tear in that area. It will not revert back to its original. So let's say we're born at 100% function, and then we create a little bit of damage at our necks here, maybe from a little bit too much phone use, repetitive work at a computer, or constantly just sitting in a poor posture. This weighs 10 to 12 pounds. So if this centre of gravity point is dropping forwards, there's a lot more pressure on the back of the neck to pull it back. If I sit nice and upright, and I use my posterior back muscles, I'm going to have a much better health in my neck. That's not the only thing that causes neck pain, but it's just a simple way for you to understand right now. So, my bike. I'm going to look after it, I'm going to bring it in, I'm going to put it in good environments. I'm not going to expose it to any unnecessary stress here, so I'm going to limit any perhaps processed foods, any inflammatory foods, alcohol, toxins, cigarette smoke, all those sorts of things have negative effects on the body. So where possible, I'm going to avoid them. What else am I going to do? I'm going to clean it. So my body, can I clean my spine? Not really, but there are a few things I can do to help promote good health, such as moving it. Now, most of you sit at desks for a huge proportion of the day in the city of London, and that does mean that we sit in one position. Whether that's a good one is questionable. Quite often there's a little bit of slouching that's going on, there's a bit of a forward drawn posture, which creates some added pressures at certain points of the body. Most typically the very lower back, particularly the L5-S1, we see a huge number of problems here, and also the C7, C6, C7, which is the 6th, 7th neck vertebrae, where the disc is there. So we want to make sure that we feed the body the right things, we move it, and perhaps if we do get ourselves into trouble, we seek treatment sooner rather than later to try and restore better motion, and so the body can actually progress with its healing process. With my bike, I'm going to clean it, and I'm going to remove any excess grit or dirt, and then I'm going to add an oil. The oil is going to help lubricate the joint, and that's no different to the body. The body has what we call synovial fluid in certain joints, which just help it to move more smoothly. Now again, that can start to disappear, as can the discs. The disc can start to reduce in thickness. They are a spongy absorptive material which takes shock when we strike the ground, and therefore as it starts to wear out, obviously that shock absorption decreases. So there are things you can do. First of all, make sure that you're working on your posture and your desk is set up to the best possible position to suit your personal needs, because everybody is different. I personally take an omega-3 fish oil, and if I'm honest with you, one of the reasons is I'm a chiropractor. I lean over people all day, treating them and fixing their problems, which isn't great for my back, but also isn't great for my hands and my wrists. And therefore, as a preventative and to prolong my career, I take this to help with some wrist pain that I can occasionally get, and manage that and hopefully prevent it progressing. But also I go over and see my chiropractor